Hello friends, my name is Jimmy Singh, broker owner of Supermax Realty, 647-961-2639, or you can reach me at my website www.supermaxrealty.ca. So in today's video, I'm going to discuss a very interesting topic which is very close to my heart, and a couple of my clients have been telling me to make a video on this topic because with COVID, a lot of people have lost their job and they want extra source of income to supplement. So this is about flipping a house for top dollars and how to hire a good contractor and not get scammed. And I've been flipping properties myself for last 15 years, and I guide my clients how they can do these things on consistent basis so they can easily make 100,000 six-figure income annually by doing these strategy in Greater Toronto area, Golden Horseshoe, London, in Southwest Ontario, flipping houses. So first thing, guys, I want to discuss is do some research on the neighborhood. See what are the up and coming areas, and so you can have less risk, because what happen is Greater Toronto area is getting very expensive and there's like multiple bidding and you don't want to pay too much money, because all the extra money you put in the offer is going to be money out of your pocket. So study the local market, understand the zoning bylaws, what you can do, what you can't do. You can't simply assume I'm going to buy a house, make a second story, and increase the square feet, or do some things like that. To go to City Hall, do some research. And second thing you want to do is build a nice solid team of professionals who know what they're doing. So to implement this strategy, guys, you need a mortgage broker who have access to private lending, because most of the times when you go to bank, they want to pull up your credit, they want your job information, and a lot of people don't have these informations handy. So you probably need a equity lender or hard money lender, what we call a private person who can lend you money at a higher interest but for a short term, because you just want to go in, spend a couple of weeks fixing it, maybe month or two, and then flip for a profit and pay off that hard money lender. So if you don't know anybody in Greater Toronto area, give me a call. I have connections with top mortgage brokers, and I have top private lenders. Even in some deals we can do joint venture, and I can hook you up with people for those things. So first thing you want to do is focus on basic thing, like focus on paint, focus on lighting, focus on wall, ceiling, floor, outside curb appeal, because buyers look at these things first, and these are only cosmetic. They're not going to break your bank on these things, right? So first thing is this. Second thing you want to focus, probably try to buy a worst house in a good neighborhood you can afford, right? And obviously when you're looking for an up and coming area, example, I remember a couple of years ago I was flipping houses in Hamilton, and that time East Hamilton, north of Barton, center Hamilton, East Hamilton was not the greatest, but I see the gentrification happening, and I start flipping properties with myself, and help my clients flip for profit as well. Same thing if you're looking for affordable option, I think London is doing very, very well, and you can give me a call. I can discuss all these options for you for London flipping. So let's say you go east of Adelaide, East London. I see gentrification happening because of the affordability, and those houses are still on decent lot. They are old bungalows, so there's money to be made there, right? And other thing you want to focus on is add few high-end features without breaking your bank. Example, let's say in kitchen, because kitchen washroom sell. So if you're focusing on kitchen, put wall mount range hood. It might cost you a couple of $100, but it bring wow features. You can go and find a good deal on a light fixture, or a dishwasher or stainless steel appliances, because there are sometimes stocks which those big warehouses want to get rid of. They might have a scratch at the corner, but you can pick up at a good decent price. And other thing you want to do is you want to make sure know your market, in the sense who is your end user, what demography you want to sell your house to. Are you flipping and selling to a bungalow to retirees or baby boomers, or you're looking for first time buyers? Or if it's a bigger property, you want to set up a basement apartment, talk to your city bylaw officer and go to city, apply for permits and stuff like that. So I always tell my clients, do everything legal. I don't like to cut corners, because when you cut corners, you go in circles, right? but at the same time you don't go overboard and make unnecessary improvements, because if the neighborhood or the price point doesn't require a granite countertop or expensive things, don't put those ones, you know what I mean. So you have to work with a knowledgeable professional who can do comparative market analysis and guide you what features will bring you top dollar. And other point I can give you is start small. Don't try to do everything big, and because if your renovation costs more than 50,000, 100,000 in the first flip, is too risky. Or you can find a joint venture partner who has the same kind of temperament with you to avoid extra headaches. So if property needs foundation problem, you need to dig outside. They have big expensive like windows, roof. If you can avoid those things, by all means buy those kind of properties. And second thing you want to do is see how the basic mechanical systems work. Can you add new technologies to it? Because everybody, depending upon buyer profile, love new HVAC appliances, electric plumbing. So those things will move your property very, very quick. And then I can't emphasize, always have your cost before you start anything. You need to know what is the after repair value. So if agent is selling you, obviously if you're working with a good agent who is unbiased and not your friend just want to make commission out of you, sit with him and say, when I repair these properties, what is the after repair value? And whatever the contracts whatever the numbers contractor give you, like this is how much it's going to cost you, always keep to 15 to 20% separate, because I have found flipping properties myself, these estimates can easily go. So you don't want to be caught unaware about that. And last point you should always focus is your exit strategy, because you see this year 2020, nobody knew COVID coming. Economy can change, market can shift, mortgage rules can change, and consumer confidence can go down the drain. You know what I mean? So you have to know that if you buy this property to make a profit, and for whatever situation you're stuck with the house not getting top dollar, what are your plans? Is it possible for you to hold the property for 1 year and rent it? And because I don't want investors to lose money on it, because if you can hold property for a year or two, maybe you borrow initially money from hard lender. But if you feel like you have to hold the property, go to a bank at a normal mortgage on it, and the mortgage rate is pretty cheap, like less than 2% or 2.13%. So you can hold the property for 1 year, 2 year, maybe call us. Our team already help clients find suitable tenants, or if you have other options, rent to own option, we can also help you with those agreements as well. So these things always keep in mind, because over last 15-20 years these strategies have made me hundreds of thousands of dollars. Same, I made my clients very wealthy using these strategies, because some clients are active, they have time to do these things. For first couple of years they flip, get all the seed money, and then they put their money to work on autopilot. So when I started my business, I started flipping. So my goal was to make $60,000 to $100,000 by flipping properties. So whatever my taxes or whatever my savings, I just use this money on top of what I make, right? And now on the second part of the video, I'm gonna discuss you how you can hire a good contractor and not get scammed. Because I see a lot of time people get scared, how I'm gonna deal with contractors, I don't know how to negotiate and things like that, right? So first thing is, know your job very clearly, what you want out of the contractor, and communicate properly. Because if you are a newbie, you don't know how the components, what things you need, and they can sense, contractor can sense it, they will charge you a little bit more, because they know you can change your mind in the middle, and you don't have a clear vision or plan for the flip. So they will ask you extra money just to protect themselves, right? And other thing you want to do is never ever handshake or do a gentleman promise. Because what happened, people say, hey, I'll give you cash money, we shake hands, and you just take word of mouth. Brother, it's very dangerous. Clients, is very dangerous. Don't even do that. Put everything in writing, and you set your expectations right into agreement, how long it's going to take for them to complete a job, right? And as I said, don't hire people who are illegal, who are not supposed to work in Canada. You're paying cash to students, you're doing this and that. it's not worth it. It's not worth extra headache. It's not worth extra litigation or headaches, right? And what you also do is, sometimes subcontractors, contractors have subcontractors or workers they leave at the site, and you want to make sure at the end you don't get with a big lien on your property. So tell the contractor right away, I will pay you whatever payment plan you have with them, and I will make a check to you and your workers, right? And you keep a proof of that, because what if you make a big check to a contractor and at the end he didn't pay his trade people or contractors or those workers? They can easily go to lawyer, put a lien against your property, and that's not very smart idea, right? And third point I can tell you is, don't let contractor to choose the materials for you guys, right? It's a smart idea if you want to do this for long term. Educate yourself about pricing and the quality of the materials you're using for your flip. Go to Home Depot, walk around the aisles, get to know your numbers, how much the toilet cost, how much the faucet cost, how much light fixtures cost, what is the cost per square feet to put a laminate, what are quarter rounds, you know what I mean? So go check out the appliances, and don't buy into this thing that contractor says, hey, I get a bulk discount because I'm a contractor at Home Depot. You go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's, and be a knowledgeable consumer and try to buy your own materials, right? And when you're getting an estimate, tell him candidly, you're getting 3 different quotes from other contractors as well, and that way he understand you mean business, right? Because if you say, my budget is, let's say, $15,000 or $25,000 for all this project, if you give him number, that's the biggest mistake. Why? He's going to make sure he's going to utilize all your budget because you gave him number before, right? So don't give any number. You said you're a professional. Break down your materials and labor cost in the written quote so I exactly know what it is, right? And don't go with the cheapest guy. That's the biggest mistake people do. They've hired the cheapest guy. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? Do your own research on it, and always whatever estimate they give you, keep 15-20% on top of that, right? And tell him that you're calling 2 to 4 other contractors to get estimates. And second time is, fourth thing you want to do is you want to set a deadline for them, right? Don't tell them, don't worry, I'm gonna pay you cash and you're not in any rush. So that way, if we hear the word you're not in any rush, he'll pick up like 5 other jobs, and you have to keep calling him and keep waiting week after week, increasing more frustration for you. So set timelines, set deadlines, and that will avoid delays. And that way you can know, because if you're borrowing hard money to flip a property and you're depending on word of mouth without any written contract, you can't go hire, or you can't do these things day after day. It adds extra stress. It's not worth it, right? And never say you're going to pay all the cash upfront. That's the biggest mistake. I remember a couple of years ago, one of my neighbors in Brampton, she hired a guy. He said, I'm going to charge you all cash, this and that. And then they start, starting the basement to finish the basement, right? The lady, poor lady doesn't know, what the material costs are. So they scammed her in a sense. They just start on the first day, put some, 2x4s and whatnot. And they said, 50% job is done. And her husband was working abroad that time. So she wrote him a half of a check. So let's say basement cost $20,000 in the townhouse. She gave $10,000 check. And after giving the check, the contractor is nowhere to be found. And she tried to call her. After a while, he changed his cell phone as well. And she doesn't have any proof to take her to small claim court or whatever, right? So these are very, very important tips. And as I said, it's very important to have clear communication so both the parties know what the expectations are. And you understand that, a good contractor, obviously, he has to make a profit to survive. So leave some profit for him, you know what I mean? At the same time, be reasonable about that, right? And how you gonna find a good contractor? Go to local hardware stores, whether it's Lowe's, Home Depots, ask for referrals, or go to a small local hardware store, private store. They have list of couple of good people, who come there quite often, and you call them, interview them. Second thing you want to do is, you can drive around in certain new subdivisions, because when you go to a new subdivision, you can pick up couple of good people. Somebody's installing blinds, somebody standing on the roof, somebody is doing the garage, somebody's pouring concrete, somebody is putting siding, somebody is doing painting. The best part is, if they allow, or if you're going on the weekend, they might be finishing work, you can easily talk to them, see their quality of workmanship. So that is one thing you can do, right? And if somebody says, they recommend you a good contractor, you ask your friends, if you call the contractor and he says, I'm busy, I can't take your job, ask him, if you have to hire another contractor, which people you hire for your own house. If somebody is a good agent or some contractor, chances are they deal with those kind of professionals as well, right? So you can also piggy bank on their contact list, and that way, create your own Rolodex on those things, right? Obviously, you can always Google Kijiji or those kind of websites. But again, if you're dealing with hundreds of thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars, you want to make sure, you are protected and everything is in writing. So that way you don't lose money. Again, guys, loyalty always pays. So if you're looking to flip house, whether you're looking in London, Greater Toronto area, Hamilton, buying and selling houses, you want to make sure you work with a knowledgeable professional who has himself flipped properties and is aware of the cost and headaches involved. It's not worth taking a risk just because you're saving commission on something like that. And at the end of the day, I have my own real estate brokerage, Supermax Realty. And obviously my clients who deal with me years after year after year, so I save them tons of money, obviously in the fees as well, right? So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to write your comments. I love feedback. I eat feedback for breakfast, right? And if you like the video, you can also subscribe it. I put mostly on weekly basis different videos, so people can learn and not get scammed. Any questions, give me a call at 647-961-2639, or you can go to my website www.supermaxrealty.ca. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.